largest IPO in history. Ant Financial just went public in both a dual listing in Shanghai and Hong Kong, and it's already oversubscribed in Hong Kong, and they had to close the book on it. Justin, what do you think about this, just offhand?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea what this is,
At
and it
some
seems
point,
like a big deal.
you're gonna have to show up like at least 20% prepared. When we do these, all six of our listeners are gonna be very disappointed
I know,
in your
right?
lack of
Uh,
preparation. Here,
so I'll
let
pull
me
my
give you the
card.
TLDR.
Yeah,
I'll give you the
explain to me
TLDR.
like I'm a 5-year-old.
You are a 5-year-old.
I am
Uh,
a 5-year-old.
so Ant Financial is the payments arm of Alibaba. Basically, is the easiest 5-year-old way to put it. Uh, but they're set to raise just under 35 billion in this IPO and have a market cap of roughly hovering around 320 billion in total. So a tiny company. But Jack Ma, who is the founder of Alibaba, is also one of the founders of Ant Financial and has just under 9% stake in Ant Financial. And this now is going to raise him up to the 11th richest person in the world. So it's a pretty big day for him, just he resigns from Alibaba. He just, it was his time to leave. And then he goes and has a small part in Ant Financial and makes it the biggest IPO in human history. So yeah, just for context, what do you think? What do you think 320 billion market cap places Ant Financial around in terms of a comparative, not necessarily a competitor, but just a comparative financial institution? And then I'm going to ask you to guess which country's GDP 320 billion matches.
Oh man, uh, what company is it compared to for cap? Shit, I'm gonna go like Apple, something like that.
Apple's worth
Am I,
$2 trillion. Try again.
I, yeah, not even close. I don't know. You tell me. I'm done guessing on that one.
This
I'll
isn't
guess
even
the.
worth a quarter of an apple. No, but it is only worth 3 billion less than JP Morgan. Been around 100+ year bank, JP Morgan shows. So if you need, if that needed to put it into perspective of how big this company is, it's a lot of Americans have never heard of it, you included, because you don't show up prepared. Is that we don't, just because we've never heard of it doesn't mean that A, it's not massive, B, it's not intertwined into Chinese society. It's not just payments, it's involved in everything. It's like a WeChat almost, in terms of its reach into just everyday Chinese life. But yeah, so okay, now you failed on the comparison. Now, what country in terms of GDP do you think its market capitalization close
Oh
to?
shoot. Let's go
Like, you could,
Greenland. I'm gonna guess some really obscure country.
Greenland has like 4 cows and 2 people as its GDP, and you think that it's worth $320 billion?
It's still a whole country. I mean, yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
big block of ice. The Vikings named it the opposite so people
Hey,
wouldn't
you can
go there.
sell ice. Didn't you see? Didn't you watch Frozen?
Actually, no, because I don't have children
Oh.
yet. I know I need to. I
Hmm.
need to. But anyway, beside the point, keep guessing countries. You are close in the semi-Nordic region, though.
Ooh, I feel like Sweden's not. It's too big. I'm gonna go Finland.
I'm actually very impressed you got that right, considering we did no prep for this. It is actually Finland. I'm not even kidding.
Hey, what do you
Yeah.
know? What do I
Yeah.
get?
You get nothing. Absolutely nothing. But yeah,
Not be fired. Okay, cool.
so Finland's, gross domestic product is worth one Ant Financial. that's
Oh my
that's
god.
I know. That's the scale we're talking about here. I mean, hey, Apple is worth entire Australia. Do you know that?
Nope.
Yep, two
Did not.
trillion is roughly the Australian GDP. Um, but I digress. So yeah, the difference is that obviously Ant Financial operates in China. It's has friendly relations with the Communist Party of China. Um, so they do have less regulation and things, and that's going to come into play in terms of now that it's becoming a long term investment. for people. It's also going to be forced to be putting more of its balance sheet to work. That way, it's not facing a cap on the rates that it charges for the money it lends out. But yeah, I still think this is a underreported story, even though it's been widely reported in business news. I think people our age are likely to see this one, not pay attention to it, or just completely miss it entirely, going and seeing what Kim Kardashian did on her private island, for instance. So,
Hey, shh. Spoiler alert! I haven't read that article yet. So, Pate, what does this mean for us? Not only just for the U.S. like markets, but for people like us, people our age.
So for nothing immediate, I think for at least the U.S. like people that are our age, we've got our Venmos and our Cash Apps at the moment. That's kind of what we've got. For people that are of Chinese descent, that have people that have family that live in China, I think it's big that this is now public. And they're gonna have to look for ways to grow, and eventually, just like WeChat, Alibaba, they will have to leave China and start globally expanding, just like how Amazon had to leave the US and try to dominate the whole world. The Chinese companies are going to have to do the same, but in their version of it.
Try implies you haven't done it.
Yeah, but this is also going to be accessible to U.S. investors that can go and get shares through the Hong Kong exchange, say like maybe through the if a Chinese focus ETF goes and gets shares, you could be able to invest in that, for instance. I think that's the more immediate changes that we see coming. Long term, China's not going anywhere. At some point, we're gonna have to figure out how to live with them. If we don't do that, we're gonna get into an armed conflict, and we don't want to do that. So I don't think it's the last we'll see of Ant Financial. And we'll see how it integrates into, if at all, into our lives going forward. May not be immediate, but 20 years down the road, who knows? I was promised flying cars by Elon by then, right?
At least.
I think we need to just try to get the ones that drive themselves first before we strap on.
By then they'll just run on our souls, but that's okay.
Cool, but yeah, that's it for Ant.